Pat yourself on the back because you are right here, right now, for a reason. Welcome to the On Purpose podcast, where together we will empower ourselves and others to live lives with more passion and purpose. How you doing today, Jared?
Dude, I don't even know, brother. Honestly, I don't know, my friend. I think I'm a lot like everybody, confused, not sure what to do next, not sure what the next hour brings. But I don't know. I just know that whatever happens, we'll get through all of it. How you feeling?
Yeah, similar. I think that this is a nationwide, worldwide setback, just like we spoke about a few weeks ago, that whether we like it or not, whether we're scared or not, fact of the matter is that major businesses, corporations, organizations, communities are shutting things down, asking people to, it's not quarantine. What is the
Social distance.
social distance, to socially distance themselves, and that it's an interesting time. It's an opportunity for us to see how we handle setback.
Yeah, and I think for our on-purpose community, you're probably going to wonder, like, what are these guys doing showing up on a Tuesday or Wednesday? And we just kind of wanted to jump in and weigh in and just share some information from where we sit on this whole coronavirus and the outbreak and the worldwide implications. Um, and honestly, just call to action our community to lead others in how we respond. And yes, it's trying. Yes, we're going to lose some money. You know, Ali and I, both of our businesses are suffering right now. Many of your businesses are suffering, but we still get to choose how we're going to respond and how we're going to show up. And we just thought we wanted to weigh in and really rally up our community. So that's why you're getting an extra episode of the podcast. A normal one will pop back in on Thursday. But, Ali and Jill and I met this morning and felt that it was too historical of an event going on right now not to have our community step up and lead.
Yeah, definitely. It's an opportunity for each and every one of us to exercise compassion and exercise faith as well. It can definitely be a scary time. There's definitely a lot of fear in the world right now because we don't know what this is. But it's opportunity for us to all have faith that everything's going to be okay, and it is going to be okay. Because here's why: if we, worst case scenario, have to social distance, have to quarantine for a little while, luckily we have technology. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you right now. This doesn't feel like social distance. We won't be alone. We'll still all be able to communicate, and that's one fear that we don't need to be scared of is being alone. And then number two, what we do know is that if you are healthy, the statistics are overwhelmingly in our favor that you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's very similar to flu, cold-like symptoms. You have a cough, a cold for a little while, and you're going to be okay. I have manufacturers over in China that I was speaking to yesterday, and it was scary when they were first going through it, and it wasn't really a thing over here in the U.S. just a few weeks ago. They were telling me how they had to quarantine themselves, and nobody was going to the factories, going back to work. I talked to one of my guys over the manufacturing team right now. He's like, hey, everything's much better over here. All of the cases are declining. 90% of the entire country is back to work. And the primary objective for the entire country of China right now is to mass produce these coronavirus test kits, face mask, cleaning things to help the rest of the world get out of this.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I'll be honest, team, my initial thought was this was a bunch of bullshit. It's just the flu and get over it, and we'll just get through it. And then, as this progressed, I've started to reflect and be like, okay, maybe I'm strong and maybe it won't cause me long-term ill, but maybe if I don't adhere to rules and follow the people that are much smarter than me that make their living studying communicable diseases and responses, I don't follow the rules, and then I contaminate some elderly person at a store or in a somebody gets sick because I didn't follow the rules. I'd feel terrible about that. And so I think whether you agree with this or not, whether you think it's a big deal or not, clearly there's people that are smarter than me asking us to take certain steps. And I guess I've kind of grown to a stage like, okay, I'm going to follow these rules. I'm going to do what they say because, my parents are in their 60s and Andrea's parents are in their 60s. And I would hate to give somebody's parents or grandparents a disease that kills them because I couldn't stay away.
Right. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that we can look at about all this, because the only ones that are really in danger are the sick and the elderly. And look at how the entire world is reacting when those are really the only two groups that actually have something to worry about.
Yeah.
Which that's one thing that we can look at and be like, wow, honestly, part of me is pretty proud of us as human beings that we're taking it this seriously when, like the doctors have said all over the news, it's like 99% of all people who are affected are covered, and really it's just the elderly and the sick that are in danger.
Yeah.
So pat on back to us.
Humans. Yeah, I agree. And once I think people got through the fear and the panic buying of all the toilet paper for some unknown reason,
Day, guys.
yeah, I don't know, common sense has kind of prevailed. So here's some things I suggest for our community is if you're having a social distance, you're away, read, listen to more podcasts, grow. Trey and I were up in Montana because I was supposed to be teaching a class and then it got canceled last minute. But him and I hiked to the top of a local mountain and just got outdoors and fresh air. And there's nobody else around us, so we're fulfilling the requirements of social distancing, not being part of large crowds, but it doesn't mean we can't push our fitness and we can't get out and experience a lot of good joy. And I guess that's what I would encourage people to do is there's still a lot of good in the world, and there's still a lot of joy in the world, and there's still a lot of beauty in the world. And this is a moment in history where I think we can really, at least for me, I'm old enough to understand like this is historical. It's never happened before in my lifetime, and hopefully it never happens again. But I'm responsible for how I react. And not only that, I'm responsible for how people watch me react. And do I panic and fear and buy into all of that the stuff and look into the conspiracies and want to know who's responsible for this and that and show my kids that behavior? Do I want my kids to say, hey, it's beyond our control. I don't know what caused this. I'll probably never know. But I have an obligation to help my neighbors. I have an obligation to help our community. We have an obligation to spend more time together because you don't get to go to school for 2 weeks. The reality is we are responsible for our reactions. And this on purpose community, you guys are all leaders in your communities. And I encourage you to step up responsibly and lead. If you have elderly people that probably shouldn't be in crowds because they're in high risk, check on them, deliver some stuff for them. Ali, I saw your post today offering to run some groceries and supplies to people. Like let's show the world what being on purpose and living with purpose really means.
Yeah. I love it. That's that. Just to echo that, yeah, we can really take this as an advantage to, like you said, read and catch up on some things while we're socially distancing ourselves that we wouldn't get the opportunity to otherwise. It's really easy to get in this like homebody funk and not do anything. So on purpose community, let's definitely keep up the good work and continue to progress on purpose.
And here's what I did today for all you guys. Every time so I got 2 hours of Spanish in, and every time I got up to fill my water cup, I did 25 push-ups. So I'm probably at about 1,500 push-ups for the day. I walked up a big old mountain with Trey, and now, unfortunately, I'm sitting here trying to make business decisions because I don't have all the facts. I don't know how long this is going to last, if I need to close the gym, stay open, if law enforcement classes are happening or not happening. But the reality is that stuff's out of my control, but how I'm going to respond is completely in my control.
Definitely. Did you say 1,500 push-ups?
Yeah, because I get 20. I drink a lot of water, man. And I gotta get my swole on. Trey's getting too big for me, dude. I gotta keep up with the young lion. So we wanted to keep this one short for you guys in the On Purpose community. Just get something out to challenge your thinking, challenging your responses. And I encourage you, don't spend all your time over the next 7 days, 20 days, whatever it is, we're self-distancing, looking for which politician to blame, which politician to believe. Like, the reality is that'll all come out in the wash. And it doesn't dismiss the fact that we now have an opportunity to really demonstrate for the world how we can respond and how we can come together in crisis instead of staying divided. And we get to model for our kids and their kids and all the people watching what this On Purpose community is really all about, and that is living with purpose. And quite honestly, trying times, challenging times are the best times for us to really show what we've been practicing.
Exactly. Yeah. This is an opportunity to show our true character.
So, all right, team, get out there, stay in living with purpose, and check in on each other. Make sure you take care of one another, and we'll all be stronger for this. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, team.
And remember, team, life is far too short to live any other way than on purpose. We will see you all again next week.